Ay, ay.
Faida kuphela ke sayida ukuthi uyashaya bona bayeshiya inziya besuka bamlandela bayeshiya imizi yabo besuka bemlandela besuka bamlandela besuka bamlandela bayeshiya imizi yabo besuka bamlandela. Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube video. It's been a while, but we're back. We hope you've missed us because we've missed you so much. But we've got good news. We've got a very interesting video today where we'll be discussing our relationships with social media. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. The video is going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys.
Hi everyone.
Welcome back to our channel. I don't even know which side to look. That's how long it's been.
Oh, you forgot it. Hey, we've been on a sabbatical, guys. Life was lifing. And yeah, but we're happy to be back. We missed you guys so much. And hey, we're very sorry that we couldn't upload videos. I know some of you were sending messages, complaining a bit. We're so sorry about that.
Sorry guys.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Hey, we could
got
go.
A nice video for today.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have a lot to say.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting because I'm currently kind of navigating that, you know, and I feel like Mr. Masego over here has a very healthy way of navigating it, which he isn't really aware of, but we're gonna touch on it. But yeah,
before we get into it, let's remind you, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please like the videos, comments beneath, and also share with others.
Yes, please comment. Also let us know what you want us to discuss. We have so many topics lined up that we want to share. I mean, the only struggle is just time, not really the content, just finding the time and just being able to sit down. But let us know if there's anything you'd like us to touch on. Feel free to share in the comments, and
because after all, we're only relevant if you find us interesting, or or we touch on things that you feel are relevant to you. We might have our own topics and then they might not be relevant. But yeah, please let us know, interact with us. We always reply to the comments.
Always.
So yeah,
we love interacting with you guys. But yeah, let's get into today's topic.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, as the title would suggest, you would already know what we're talking about. So we're having a conversation about social media. Social media. So without further ado, first question, Mr. Masego.
All right.
How would you describe your relationship with social media?
Well, for me, it's pretty cut and dry. Those who know me personally will know I'm not really a big social media person.
Yeah.
If I were to calculate the amount of time I spend on social media, that's all platforms. It's very, very, very tiny. Yeah, in a day, probably an hour. Yeah, and then the one that I spend most time on is WhatsApp, and that's also sending messages and replying to messages to people I know privately.
Yeah,
you know, and so yeah, when it comes to Twitter, I hear that they say it's toxic and whatnot. I can't really testify to that. It's only for football for me. Only thing I look at Twitter is videos of matches that I didn't see, or even matches I saw.
Commentary on
that. Who's in the starting lineup, who got injured, those kind of things.
Okay.
YouTube. No, I don't know if there's anything I watch on YouTube except for our videos.
Oh, come on. Please. You do have like other things you you watch. I guess YouTube Vele is not like a really the most is a bit interactive. Like it is an interactive social media platform, but I wouldn't say it's like in the same field or area as maybe Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads.
100%. On YouTube,
yeah,
I watch Good News Guys, I watch Cocomelon, and I watch, those are the things that are constantly on my screen.
Right.
Obviously, for obvious reasons, you know.
Okay, Dad.
And then Instagram, I think I've never sent a post on Instagram. I've sent only 3 direct messages since I've had Instagram. How long is that? Probably since 2020, 2021. I've had an Instagram account. She knows more about it than I do.
I don't even know if it was even, like, I think you had it recently. Didn't you open your Instagram account when you moved here? I don't even know. You just never had an Instagram, really.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know what's going on.
But anyway, that's Anela's relationship. I think you can like figure
Facebook.
Out.
Wait, let me finish off Facebook. She was using my Facebook account. I think she changed the password. That was when we were in varsity, I think second year. So that was like, when was second year for us? 2015. I've never been on Facebook since 2015. If you got a message from me
10 years ago,
it's not me. I don't know who it is.
Really? You have logged in?
No.
Messages, nothing?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't know my password.
I haven't accessed that account. I don't know your password either. I haven't accessed that account.
So when people send you a link, right, on WhatsApp, about something that's on Facebook, when I click on that link, it'll show me, like, if it's a video, it'll show me that video. If I want to scroll to another video, it says I must log in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Fine. That's me.
So that's basically your relationship with Facebook. Or with social media in general. All right. And then with me, we're kind of like opposites. So I'm a very interactive social media person. I post. I use all platforms. But my relationship with social media is a bit tumultuous, I would say. I go back and forth with the various platforms and stuff, but I'm not a passive consumer, so I contribute. Like, I will post, I will repost. Like, I like interacting because I'm not okay with just receiving content, and something we were discussing prior to shooting this video. But yeah, I think recently, with all the things on my plate, social media for me I've just taken it a lot more seriously. Like, we're gonna dive into some of the topics we're gonna discuss in a bit, but I feel like I'm just figuring out where to place it, questioning why I consume certain things, why because I consume it more than he does. I have spent more time on it more than Anele does, you know. So it's like a platform that I feel at times I've taken a bit too seriously. I'm just being honest. And that has gotten to me a bit too much unnecessarily, but I think it comes with consuming the content. It just happens because, you know, I've had to take breaks as well from it, you know, just to give myself like, you know, when you just have too much on your plate, especially as a new mom. There's a time I took an extensive break, I think of 5 months. And funny enough, during that extensive break, where I was like, okay, let me quiet out this and just focus on this, and also focus on my immediate responsibilities, being a mom, being a wife, and the job I was drowning in. And I was just figuring out, do I push through? Do I start looking for another job? Let me also prioritize my relationship with God and just maybe take a break from interacting. This was when we were still in SA. And during that period, it's like God was like, okay, finally I have her attention. And as you know, our life rapidly changed during that break. So yeah, I feel like with social media, there are so many pros with it. Like, you know, interacting. I've met a lot of, like, even some of my close friends through social media. We also made through social media. So I won't dog social media and be like, oh, it's this horrible, horrible thing. But I feel like, especially in today's society, it's just something that consumes us a bit too much. And I'm learning to put up those boundaries and figure out how to navigate it. I think someone close to me was like inquiring, I've been sending you so many reels. Are you off Instagram? Because I'm currently taking like a break, just a transparent moment. we're currently taking a break just to be like, because there's a video. So I consume also a lot of YouTube while I'm like working or doing things, you know, like listening, like just like podcast vibes basically, right? It's not something I'm watching, it's something I'm listening to. And there was this commentator who also had a very strange relationship with Instagram, like I currently have, where they're like, Instagram feels like a different version of LinkedIn. Like on LinkedIn, people are just posting their achievements and they're posting their jobs and all of these highlights, and Instagram is just a different version of that, where people are just constantly posting their highlights and all these achievements and things. And even if you're someone who, you're like me, you try and stay in this constant state of gratitude and appreciating everything that you have, it becomes very difficult to do that if you're constantly consuming everyone's highs, especially when you're going through difficulties in your own life. And it tends to be the things that you're struggling with where someone else on like the app is doing really well with. And I think I was just explaining to you as well that my thing with Instagram that also frustrates me is that I don't see enough of the people I really know in real life. It's a lot about other people who I don't have that connection with. Could be influencers who are selling me a ton of stuff all the time, and it's like, you know, your brain ends up thinking that you need these things that you don't need. It might be celebrities, even though I've reduced a lot of the celebrities that I do follow, like people that I'll never meet, and I'm having all these parasocial relationships, which if you don't know what parasocial means, it's like you know so much about this person's life and the things that they share, even though we never know a lot, but you know so much about this person's life and everything that's going on, but they will never know anything about yours, you know. And recently on Instagram, a close friend of ours got married, and it was just really lovely to see her post those things. And I was like, why don't I see more of like my peeps on this app? Like, I want to see posts about people that I know in my real life, family, friends, even I interact a lot with people I went to varsity with and high school with, and I love seeing their posts too, but that's not what dominates my Instagram, and I've tried to clean it up and things like that. But it's just always other people and influencers and people that I won't meet or who don't even care really about me, you know. And that's just something I'm like, why am I constantly consuming this? My daughter could be doing something amazing in real life when I'm scrolling, and I might not be fully present in that because I'm busy in Ndombi's posts about whatever. And yeah, so that is my tumultuous relationship with social media. It's very packed, I guess. It was an example. It's no one, it's just a random name. But yeah, so that's me. That's my relationship with social media, to answer.
We are opposite, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We are. But moving right along, do you think social media has affected our marriage? Do you feel like it has had like a positive or negative impact? I think I touched a bit on the fact of how we met, so I guess that's
let's clarify how we met. I knew her, or I would see her from church, but the first interaction we had was on Mixit. Yeah, so it's not that social media got me, you know. It became a tool I used to get to you. But I did see her from a church because we had two different branches. So I just wanted to clear that up. And then as for its effect on our marriage, if we take it before marriage, I think social media was pretty important back then because that was the way that we were interacting. It was obviously cheaper.
Yeah, easier.
There was that Mixit, there was a big boom on Mixit before WhatsApp days. So it was the easiest way to communicate. Very effective way to communicate as well, because you can send as many messages as you want. And the beauty of it being able to be synchronous and asynchronous meant that you can send a message whenever. And you didn't really have to wait for the person to be online to send the message. You can send, and then they reply when they receive it. And even when they reply, you might not be online. But then we moved on to the notifications. There weren't notifications at first on WhatsApp. You send a message. Yeah, I've been around, you know.
That's when we started using it same time.
No. I started using it in grade 6. You didn't probably even have a phone then when you were in grade 4. So please, behave. Yeah. So there was no notifications then. You see a message when you log in. Yeah. So just not to be long actually. Yeah, social media when we were dating was quite important to us.
Yeah.
We'd interact a lot. We'd have phone calls then when we grew a bit older, you know, when we could afford more airtime. So we'd interact with phone calls, but social media was still big.
Yeah.
But when we got married, I mean, coming home to your wife, the messages you send on social media are more of updates, announcements,
and also sweet nothings.
So, yeah, like, of course, like romantic
essays and all that.
But we do most of our speaking face to face. That's what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah, we do.
Like we can't go 2 days not saying anything on WhatsApp. Yeah, unless
I think now I would call parents, her. It's like you probably have to send updates.
Yeah. Like I would call her if I need to, let's say she's at work, I'm also at work or whatever, I would call her. You know, or send her a message. If you didn't see it, I'll call her. It wouldn't be something that would be huge, incredibly big. Hey. But but I'm seeing there's a lot actually to say about this. But
yeah, I think we just have to summarize. Maybe we can have a part 2, guys. Just let us know.
Because
we just want to start the conversation about social media. And just also get our audience thinking, like, you know, how do you use social media? How do you navigate it? How has it benefited you? What are you struggling with around it? Because I think it has such a huge impact. And that's why we wanted to have this conversation. And even me, who's currently figuring out what do I want my relationship with social media to look like. You know, it's very important that you don't find yourself like in your old age feeling like you spend most of your life just scrolling on a screen, you know, just consuming other people's lives who you'll never meet. Like, maybe it shouldn't be that deep. It's an escape. I understand you need to escape away from your real life, but like it can't be like, I almost feel like it can be such a horrible addiction, and there's just so many broken people also who have access to that thing that can impact you negatively. And it's not everyone who's like my man over here who's very strong, who's like doesn't take it to heart and things like that. So that's why we just wanted to have that conversation.
There's 2 worlds. There's the real world, there's social media world. Whatever people say to you on social media, especially those you've never met, it can't really affect you as much as what happens when someone says to you face to face, you know. So so for me, it's been that way, you know. So I've never had a bad day because of something I've seen on social media. Like really, I've never.
But I think in my case, how I feel like it's affected our marriage, I think you mentioned everything pre, so I'm not gonna touch on that. I think now post us being married, I think it has impacted it. It has maybe slightly negatively impacted, because sometimes you're sitting, like I noticed with myself, I think often, most of the times, I tend to be self-aware and like, I'm not sure if this was a good thing to do. Like, let's say we're chilling, maybe we put the kids down, like recently, like maternity leave recently, and we're watching Monk. So Monk was like our comfort show to watch. I'll find that instead of like just being fully present and cuddling up close to him, like I'm also using it as time to multitask and catch up maybe on like posts or responding to WhatsApps or things like that. So I feel like it takes away from the moment that we've waited this whole day to like just have this time together to ourselves. And instead of me quieting my mind with other things and like really being present with my husband, I'm now seeing it as a way to like catch up on things that I have no business catching up on. I mean, I can see WhatsApp because I mean we're far away from like family, so maybe that can be slightly justifiable, although it is our time. But it wasn't just limited to that. It could be like maybe Instagram or like just, you know, TikTok or whatever, and things that are just irrelevant when this is more important. So I think for me, there is just something where I had to self-check and have had to really self-check and be like, it's not the time to do that. It's really just like, and just having to be like, I'm not gonna get this time again. Like, so like we have forever and ever and ever, as much as I, in heaven, hallelujah. But here on earth, we don't have forever and ever and ever. So I can't waste that time doing things that are pointless, because he doesn't complain or anything. Like he's just so sweet. Oh, he don't complain anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he did complain in the past, but now.
But I did complain last week. She says she wants to talk, right? So I tell her Liverpool is playing tonight. She says okay. The next day she wants to talk, like while I'm watching United and I'm hoping they lose. I'm watching, and she tells me she wants to talk now. So I had to switch off,
Because it was just, we were planning. So it's Amava's birthday this week. It was just a quick, like, I'm running over things with him. It wasn't even like a social media. Bringing our squabbles onto the internet.
Actually, that's good, because you know what, another thing you guys should maybe we should discuss, right? Maybe we won't in this video, but things like maturing. You need to mature as well, because social media can really hinder your maturance. We'd have, when we were still very new in this marriage thing, well, not necessarily marriage, dating,
Yeah, I think dating.
And we'd abuse social media where we weren't projecting our emotions to each other when we were face to face, but we'd have all these discussions, long essays,
and they're misinterpreted, and it just ends up being a mess.
Yeah,
when it could have been a proper 5 minutes
talk, if it was face to face, and then also this thing of chatting through statuses. Guys, don't do that.
I don't think we really did that. I think at least with that one we were good with that.
Yeah. It's subliminal messaging.
Yeah, the passive
someone is sending, sending it. They never care. And then I'm reading that, and then now I need to figure out, this is related to me or not. And then when I ask you, and check, why am I even asking? But I'll ask you about, because sometimes, and then you'll be like, if the shoe fits, let's talk, let's be direct,
Yeah, but that's not, he's not talking about me in terms of that.
Oh, no.
Because me, I don't do that. I come to you direct. I don't like that. Yeah. I mean, I ignore posts like that. If people have posted, I'm telling you now, and it's not even, I'm going to go into that.
And it's bad. I mean, I hardly even sit down and look at status messages. That's why I don't even post a lot, And or people are offended because I didn't post them. No, let's not do that. Let's be positive on social media and show that we are mature and grown ups. So let's interact directly
and talk to each other
and
directly. Come to me directly.
Yeah. Let's not use social media incorrectly.
Yeah, but to wrap up this segment of social media in terms of our marriage, I think it hasn't affected us too much, because we communicate really well. And we're big on communication, especially since we've moved countries. Like, we will sit and we will chat and we will talk, and usually when we sit and we talk, and we say we're not watching something, when we're just talking, the phones are there. It's not like I'm talking to you and you're like no. It's literally phones down. We're talking, we're having a communicative discussion where, like, you're hearing me, I can see you're hearing me, I'm feeling heard, etc. So it's just been moments of not being present.
Some people they have that dynamic and they prefer that, where busy on your phone. It's not that my life is pausing while I'm talking. I've heard it. But for us,
if it works for you,
doesn't work for us.
I'm not going to comment on that. I can't speak on other
we're a bit old school, Michelle.
Yeah, I can't speak on people's relationships. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But that's how we navigate and work.
So we're not telling you what's wrong and what's right. We're telling you what works for us.
Yeah, exactly.
My sentence.
No, we do that a lot. Fun fact, another thing I noticed, actually, even when I was at work recently, this past week, when I had to go in, I think it was around 2:30, because I got so busy during the day, and I was like, I wonder how Anele is, and the kids and everything. And I went to text him. I don't know, my WhatsApp had notified me, and then I saw he had just sent me a message asking me how I am. And that's happened so often over the years that it's just like I can't get over it. But anyway, we're in sync like that. So next question, how would you say social media has affected our parenting?
With me. Okay. No, with me. Yeah, no. I would be very disingenuous if I don't mention. Hey, with our new dynamic where I'm stay at home most of the time, there were times where I would Google a lot of things. I'll be found sneaking around the mummy pages, and sometimes even commenting, because like I learned a lot. Like I would be very disingenuous if I said no, not for me. So I learned a lot really on social media. It was quite new because people just share, and that's very helpful. Yep. And I'm someone, I also interact, I share. Yeah, but I don't really have a trail where I'm going back, like the pages I've been to as well. I might not remember, but when you Google something, then it pops up. So social media has helped me in that regard. In terms of parenting, and obviously interacting with people I know when I want to get advice about something, especially with the first child. Yeah, it was very, very important. Yeah, but I know. But as for other things, I can't really mention. I can't really say there's any other thing like social media distracting me from my time with my kids. Nah, I don't have that.
Yeah, I think what I keep getting from you, and probably what our community is getting, is that you have a relationship with social media where it serves you and it benefits you, and then put it back in a box. Like it's not, it doesn't control you.
Yeah.
It benefits you and it serves you. And I said it even before we started shooting this video, that's I think a very healthy relationship to have. Whereas you use it doesn't use you, it doesn't control you. Like it serves you, it benefits you, and I want to also fully get to that point. So to piggyback on what he said, I also feel like social media has been really useful in terms of parenting and becoming a mom, and my mom journey, and that finding that community in women who are experiencing the same thing, who are going through the same thing, who like can share tips and advice. It's been such a lifesaver many times. Like the mommy groups I'm part of, and like in WhatsApp and stuff, and also just things I found on Instagram with like there's just so many tips, so many hacks. It's like it's so great. But I think the con to that is that there's so much information, so much opinions, so much like this way or the highway, all of that.
Scaring you into
it can overwhelm you. So you need to have that limit, like, okay, no more, this is the cap, I'm good. And it's just always constantly practicing boundaries and like, okay, this is too much, or I think I'm consuming too much. I'm one of this person's particular lifestyle. Like being a working mom and then following someone who's at home with their kids all the time can have me end up feeling depressed, because I'm like, oh my goodness, she's so present with her kids, and then I'm not taking account her circumstances, her privileges, and all of those things that contributed to her being able to be in that space, and also not understanding the grace that God has afforded me still in the situation where I'm working, but I can see the impact with my children, with my daughters, that no, I am present, etc., etc., and not letting what I'm seeing now make me feel like a bad mom, which is also something that has really driven me to limit my interaction also on social media and really monitor, because you think about your children all the time and wonder whether you're doing enough, whether you're giving them the best, whether like they have everything they need, is there anything they're lacking, are they meeting their milestones, like Ayaka right now, she's learning how to sit, all of those things. So you just constantly are thinking about those things, and then if you are not in a good headspace, where sometimes I'm not, and then I'm on Instagram and I'm seeing all these things, and it's like can put me in a very bad place. and I'm aware enough to see that it can do that, and I have to put that boundary and be like, okay, maybe it's not good for me to follow a mom who's at home with her kids all the time. Like this person grew up in a first world country. I did not grow up in a first world country. There's certain things, my husband and I both have to work. We don't have that dynamic, but we're doing the best we can, and it shows up in our kids.
So can I ask?
Yeah.
Was there a situation, or would you ever have had a period whereby, like, the kind of assurance that I would give you would be outweighed by the kind of exposure that you saw on social media, which says otherwise, which contradicts the kind of assurance? And
so you constantly give me assurance, which I really appreciate.
You can say that again, please.
He constantly gives me assurance. He constantly affirms me as a mom, and just always pours into me and praises me, which I really need and I appreciate. And I think the times maybe where I do struggle, it's because maybe I'm not being vocal with you about, today I feel this way. But the times where I'm not vocal and I put myself in that, I think that's where God steps in himself. So I can think of an instance maybe where I felt like, am I doing enough? I feel like, since being back at work, I'm not present with my kids enough, and I'm not there with them, and like I'm not even doing bedtime. I have to I went back to work during a busy period of work, so it has rattled me a bit. But then there was a time you were at work during the weekend when I was battling with those thoughts that I hadn't vocalized to you, and I put Amava to bed, right? I think I shared a post of this on my WhatsApp. I'm not sure if you remember or you saw it. Maybe you didn't because of being at work and stuff. But I put a post where when Amava was small, I'd always put her to bed and I'd say, "Good night, baby. I love you. Daddy loves you, and God loves you the most," right? And with time, dynamics and just figuring, we're both very active parents. Anelu took over the sleep time routine, right? So he would be the one who'd put her to bed at night most of the time, and maybe I'm busy with something else, in our home. And they have their own thing. So I thought little Miss Amava has forgotten, So I'm putting her to bed. My mind is busy. Literally, my mind is so, I'm thinking of my own stresses and stuff. I'm like, "Good night, baby, I love you." And she's like, "Oh, I love you." And then switching off the lights and closing the door. And then she calls out, "Mom." And I'm like, "Yes, baby." I'm thinking maybe she dropped one of her teddies or something, because that happens, or, And then she says, "God loves you." Oh, guys, just thinking about it, I was just like, she remembered. That was just such a huge thing to me. And I felt like it was God affirming me that you are doing much better than you think you are. Oh, I want to cry. But I'm doing much better than I think I am. And I'm really putting in a lot of effort, and it's not in vain, and I shouldn't overthink it and all of that stuff. So that's where I feel like when maybe I haven't vocalized to you, I'm doubting myself in my motherhood journey, and maybe I haven't given you the chance to affirm me. I feel like God steps in and affirms me in those ways, in how our children are and the things that they do, and that affirmed me so much that little thing that I'll do with her stuck with her, and now she's saying it back to me,
Yes,
and it's so important that the time I do spend with her is valuable. She appreciates it, and it means something. It might not be 100% like the mom who's a stay-at-home mom and is constantly with her kids, but it's different. God steps in. There's the provision there, and so that is that. Yay. Woo. Yeah, the topic. It's not supposed to be that kind of topic, guys. But yeah, I think last question: how can we build a healthy relationship with social media? I think you have it out the gates. So
yeah, no, me, I underuse my phone,
which I think is great.
Yeah, and my social media was very, very. it was very, very busy and
active.
hectic. Yeah. My WhatsApp as well when I was selling textbooks. All my
See,
customers
another method that you used it to profit you. Like, you're using it to make money, like how influencers use it to make money now, content creators and stuff.
So that was then, and then when I stopped selling textbooks, and then lost a lot of numbers. So wasn't as my social media hasn't been hot ever since, really. I used to be a big shot.
Now you're a nobody.
I'm an afterthought, Get those people, hey, was it your birthday last week? Like, yeah. So with me, I think I'm happy with it because I'm not really like for me, I get what I give, so I can't complain because I don't really give a lot. But I do. It's not like I'm negligent, guys,
but
those that chat with me know I chat. And I'm interactive, and I send essays. They know I send essays. Because I care.
The time you have, you make the most of it.
Absolutely. And I always apologize if maybe I take a day or 2 or 3 late, because my daughter's starting to use my phone more than me, even though it's locked. These phones. She always taking pictures.
It's like,
these phones, why isn't the phone locked? Like, it's locked and needs a fingerprint or a password, but the camera is always open. So now every time she asks for my phone, daddy, picture please, I just give her, and then she just take pictures. And she comes, we take videos. So I have so many random videos and pictures on my phone. She takes pictures of the brick wall. She takes pictures of literally every single thing you can think of everything. Like, oh my word. So if you know, guys, please help me. How do I lock my phone so that the camera doesn't also work when it's locked? Please comment below. Help me.
Okay, but anyway, so how I'm actively trying to have a healthy relationship with social media is that I don't want to be constantly scrolling. So I feel like I need to limit my interaction so that my mind can be present with my family more and with my kids, and just, like, for me to be present in my own life so that I allow God also to speak to me, because when I've done that before, great things have happened. So I shouldn't be so consumed with other people's lives, especially other people who I don't even know. And I need to be more present in my own life. So I'm just actively putting up that boundary of, like, limiting my interaction, and just figuring out how that looks like. Because there's just not enough time, especially as a parent. There's just so much to do that, like, currently I've taken a break from Instagram, for example. And I'm just wondering, how did I even have time for this thing? Because there's just so much going on. Or even when I take leave, right? Like, I'll complain to any of us, like, I've taken leave, but it's like, it's leave to just catch up on other things in the house. Like, it's not like it's just hang time. It's like, okay, pause this. Let's now catch up with this, catch up on laundry, catch up on, hey guys.
You want to die young.
So, like, I'm trying to eliminate, like, I'm at full capacity. Like, I told this to the loved one who asked me, Ganti, why am I not responding to the reels? I'm like, I'm at full capacity. I need to just, like, iron out other things in my life currently. But I will pop in. It's not like I'm gone forever again. But I will pop in and interact. But, like, it's just going to be limited. So just having those boundaries. And just making sure that when I am on social media, I'm not just passively consuming. And I think that's also a challenge to those who also consume social media and who aren't necessarily active on it. Make sure it's benefiting you, like how Anele has, like, used it for his benefit. Make sure it's benefiting you and improving your life, and you're not just watching other people improve their lives. I know we want the escape, like, it's just like, oh, I want to escape from my own life, but sometimes you need to be really present in your own life and deal with it, with whatever you're trying to escape. So yeah, like try and limit it and just see, like, if I'm more present in my own life, if I change my habits and I limit this, how will my life actually change? Like, you'll be so shocked at how things are clearer, and how you have maybe God moving you into things that you need to be moved into, because now you are paying attention to what you really need to pay attention to. And that's important. And yeah, I mean, others might say, oh, it's not that deep, it's just social media, it's whatever. And sometimes you just need to laugh and unwind. About TikTok, I don't think we mentioned TikTok because yeah, TikTok is just another one. But it's important to like laugh and be present in your own life. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. And yeah, I'm not saying remove it completely and don't be there completely, but don't let it be every chance you get, you're constantly there. Like, your mind is just full with maybe Cardi B or influencers or whatever it is, or Love is Blind, for example. Love is Blind watches.
We are one of them.
We're one of them. And I'm currently irritated with one of the people on the show.
She ruins it for me because she knows what's gonna happen through social media. Like, I'm watching there, and I'm telling her, hey, I wonder what's gonna happen. These ones are not gonna go far.
No, but I haven't ruined it for you though. Like, I keep quiet, so he wonders.
I can feel her energy. I feel her energy.
So like I tell him, he just feels with she's off, so she
when
knows
they show
something.
A particular couple like it should be. And then you're born we should bet,
Tyler and Ashley.
Hey, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, just having those healthy boundaries, guys. And if you need to have a cutoff time, and all our phones have things where, like, they tell you it's time to get off the app now, do that. I don't think you need to go cold turkey, like maybe like what I've done or whatever, but you can like slowly, also fill it up with other habits, like maybe replace it. That's also another way to reduce your usage. Like, maybe start reading books or maybe listening to podcasts, so that you consume things that really benefit and can change your life, and you're using it for your benefit, and it's not using you and consuming you unnecessarily. So yeah, I think this conversation can even be a part 2. I think we've just started the conversation. Please do comment down below, let us know what you think, interact with us, and if we can have a part 2, we'll have a part 2 down the line. But yeah,
no, thanks guys. I don't know what to say now.
It's been a while. Siti, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and
share.
We'll see you. Share.
Share.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.